Are you a first-time home buyer? Then this video will definitely have something for you. Hi, my name is Richa and I will be sharing the do's and don'ts that I came across when I was buying my very first house in US. You would agree that buying a house is not only a very big and a long commitment, but also it involves a lot of investment, which means that you will be putting into this house that you are planning to buy a lot of hard-earned money of yours. So this process is not only time-consuming, but it also needs a lot of patience from your end. Before you start to buy a house, don't think that I should say, keep in mind that you will have to put multiple offers on multiple houses before you can really finalize on a house. When we were searching for the house, I had this in mind that I will go and shop for the houses, and whatever house I like, I will put an offer and that house will be mine. No, but that's not the case. So it's really not that easy, and especially in the market like this, which is very hot, and the pandemic market where people are selling their houses more like 30 to 40k above the selling price. That really makes a big difference, which leads me to another point, that whenever you are buying a house, whatever budget you decide, make sure you have some extra money that you can that can help you to up your offer, which means you can make the offer more strong if you really end up in a bidding war for a particular property, or some other things that we will talk about in some time. As I said previously, that buying a house is a big project. Obviously you will need some key people, those who will be guiding you from the very start of your search through all the stages involved in the buying of the house, or I should say till the closing of the house. Whenever you decide to buy a house, the first person that comes into your mind is the real estate agent, or the buyer's agent as they call it. Make sure that whenever you are searching for a buyer's agent, you do your research, read the reviews, and ask your near and dear ones who have already bought a house in the location that you are planning to buy, or if they have any recommendations for another real estate agents that they might know. The only caveat I feel like asking from other friends is that that real estate agent, it is easier to latch on to you, and for some reason if you feel that you're not having a very pleasant relationship, it gets a little tough to get yourself out of that relationship. So I would say interview the real estate agent. Try to see that you are comfortable, he is able to answer all your queries, he always gets back to you. That is very important. You should not be in a state where you're asking something and the real estate agent doesn't even bother to respond to you. He not only that, especially in this pandemic market, I must say that the real estate agent must know the market well. He should know which offer is good, which is bad. He should be able to point you out the problems that he would see in a house. Obviously, you will have an inspection at the later stage of this whole process, but in general, he should have a good understanding of which house is really good and which is bad. For example, if some house has he feels like the architecturally it is not right, or he feels like there is some indication of a pest control, or you should need a pest control, that's something that he should be able to point out to you. Never ever go with a real estate agent who has in his profile that he has been into the business for 30 years. I would not say never go with him. I would say don't gauge the quality of the real estate agent just by looking at how many years he has been into the business, but also looking at the kind of houses that he has been selling, the number of houses he has sold within or the past 6 months. Not only that, you should you should be able to find out what is the price point of the houses that he is really good at. Imagine you're buying a house for 500k. You should go with a realtor who has already been selling those houses of that price range, so that he knows what to look for, and also what all things you will not be able to find in that price range. So that's something that I would say is very important when you're choosing a buyer's agent for you. He is the one who will represent you or negotiate on your behalf. So for us, I feel like we felt that the agent that we were going with, towards the end, he just wanted to close the deal, and he was not very helpful. We were left all by our own. So make sure the fee of the buyer's agent is always paid by the seller. So make use of it and try to get the best buyer's agent that you can. The next important person that you would really like to choose very due diligently is the lender. So your real estate agent will definitely have a long list of the lenders that he might have worked with earlier, the inspectors and the attorneys, which are the 3 key people again in this journey of yours. But I will always say never ever blindly just go with the recommendations that your real estate agent gives you. Always make sure that you are talking to them, talk to them. That's what I will say. Read their reviews, and always make sure that it's your money. You are the one who's going to spend or put that money into the property. So better than anybody else, it's you who can really know which person is good or will be good for you. So a few points that I would tell you as to really take a look at the lender would be, as I said, talk to the lender, make sure that he's able to make you comfortable and understand all the nitty-gritties of the mortgage and the rates and everything. The other thing I would say, never ever forget to ask for the lender fee. When I say the lender fee, so that you don't have any last minute surprises, because sometimes it happens that the lender's fee itself is very high. So when you are buying or shopping for the mortgage, make sure that you are talking to all the lenders at the same day, or on the same day I should say. And when you are talking to them, tell them or sit with them and ask them who your lending officer should be or will be. Is the person you're talking to, is he the one who is going to be dealing with or communicating with you throughout this process, or that would be once you finalize the lender, that would be given to someone else. So in my opinion, always go with the person whom you have spoken to, him, so that it is easy for you to in the later stages to deal with or clarify any doubts that you would have. I would say that just like in any hospital, all the doctors are not the same. Similarly, for a company, all the lenders are also not the same. Each and every lender has their own pluses and minuses, so be very diligent when you are doing that. As far as the shopping for the mortgage is concerned, or the mortgage rates is concerned, I would say always call the lenders on the same day. So let's say you are planning to call 2 lenders all on Monday. Call them that day, because the rates are very volatile, and if Monday there is some rate, on Tuesday it might change. So always make sure that you call the lenders on the same day, so that you are comparing apples to apples. And as I mentioned already, that you should also take care of the loan fee or the loan processing fee, because for example, you went with lender A and he's giving you rate of interest for 2.5 and lender B is giving you maybe 1, that's very low, but I'm just taking a number. But the fee of the lender B is very high, so you can weigh and see that even if the rate of interest that he is giving is lower, the processing fee is so much that it automatically almost will round up to the same thing. So be sure, and the kind of information that the lenders would need to give you a good rate would be what or how much loan you are asking for. If it's a purchase, then how much down payment you would be making, what kind of property it is, and definitely your credit score. There is also something called a pre-approval letter, which you would need to put along with your offer letter, which is nothing but a letter which tells that the bank that you are eligible of getting a loan of such and such amount. It definitely helps to put that approval letter along with your offer letter, because then the seller sees that this person is really interested and he has he already has that mortgage amount approved, so he will be able to move forward as far as the financial dynamics are concerned. The next person I would say is where that would be very important in your journey would be the attorney. He would be the one who would be drafting the contract once your offer is signed. Now when I say this attorney, it is very important to find a good attorney, because when you are doing the negotiations after the inspection, it is very important to have an attorney that who can legally write the contract or mold the contract in your favor to get the things done from the seller. So all those things, and also he's prompt in the response. In our case, our attorney was so slow that we would ask him to respond to some seller's query in the morning, and then he would take another 2 days. So in that case, the sellers would keep asking, okay, what happened, we haven't received any response. So it is a frustrating moment for both, and at times it can affect your offer too. The next and the last, I would say, the person that is very important during this journey is the inspector. So whenever your offer gets accepted, you should order the inspection. Now why it is important to get a good inspector is because he is the one who would be checking each and every small thing in the house, and you won't believe things that might sound very small from a naked eye might take a lot of, would be really a financial burden when you go out to get them repaired. Our inspector was really good and thorough, and he really helped us to find each and every small thing. And again, once he gives you that inspection report, you can then start negotiations with the seller in terms of these are the high risk items and these are the low risk items. So take your call. That's where your real estate agent would really be helpful in guiding you, along with the inspector, which are like these things are like must haves and don't haves. I would say never assume things. That if you see something, definitely ask the inspector or the seller. There is nothing wrong. In our case, my real estate agent started telling us that if we ask too many questions, the seller might get offended and this and that, let's leave this and leave that. I feel like now a few of those things we really repent, because they are costing us a lot of money to get that repaired. I will give you a small example. We have a big backyard and there are a lot of trees in it, but our inspector told us that one of the trees was almost dead. For us, since we were first time home buyers, we really did not know that here in US, if you have to get a tree cut, it starts from $1,000. So that was really a shocker, I would say. So things like that, small things, I would say, make sure that whenever you get the inspection report, you read it thoroughly, make sure that you understand it. If you have any doubts of any things that the inspector has indicated, make sure that you either get it corrected or you get the quotes from the people. For example, if the inspector has indicated some issue with some electrical issue, if the seller is not ready to fix during the negotiations, make sure to really go ahead and get the quotes for those things so that you know what you are signing up for. So that's another thing, and as I said, these days the market is very hot, and I have seen houses going more than what the asking price is. Sometimes you have to ignore a few things to get into the game, but again, please be very diligent on what you are spending on, and the inspection is very important. I would say inspection is the most important step in this whole buying process. Don't take it leniently. Don't think that this inspector is costing me less, let's go with it because the house is new. So buying or getting a good inspector is not only helpful if you're buying an older property, but even the new property that you buy. I have my inspector used to tell me that you won't believe I have found such structural issues in the newly built houses, and those houses costed millions of dollars. So the point here is that never ever compromise on the quality of the inspector. There are a few other things that I would like to discuss, like the things that you need to take care when you're moving. How do you really decide on the various things that you want in a house, and when to buy a house in the next series that I would be making. But if you like this video of mine, please do press the like button and subscribe my channel to get some more personal and self-lived I would say opinions about the things that I would be discussing. And if you are a home buyer, do let me know if there are anything else that you would want me to talk about. And if you already own a house, do leave in the comments any pro tips that you think you could change if you could go back. So with then, thank you so much, and we will meet soon. Thank you.